26 TRD 02043. Come up and have a seat, sir.
I'm here especially.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. That's nonsense. Okay, so here's the deal. The defendant's present in the courtroom today without counsel. Ms. Yeager's here on behalf of the state of Ohio. The last time we were here, the court granted the state's motion to continue over the defendant's objection, and we're scheduled for a trial today. Now, I do have, and this was filed at 10:28 this morning, what appears to be a demand for discovery. Specifically, it reads as follows. Video footage at speed was proving no operation of motor vehicle to show that the officer Beach has violated my constitutional rights, illegal search and seizure, also falsified official government document and perjury. Okay, so obviously you just filed this today, and I'm assuming you didn't even know it was filed until I just read it, right?
Your Honor, I saw it when he walked in, and I think he said something like it goes with his flash drive that he provided.
Do you already have that do you have the body cam footage that you're talking about?
He has not requested discovery from the state.
Okay, until this document.
That wasn't a request for discovery. I was just submitting evidence, just video evidence. That's all it was.
Do you have video that you want to play at the trial?
This is the trial, right?
This is your trial?
Yeah.
Or are you saying...
I put a motion in to submit evidence. Here's a video of the submitted evidence of the Speedway, when me and the Speedway at the time.
Okay.
Supposedly operating motor vehicle.
Okay, so you have video that you want to play that was not generated by the officers, correct?
This was generated by the place of...
But you got camera footage from Speedway?
Yeah, this is it.
Okay, you just went to the store and said, hey, can I get a copy of your video footage from that day?
Yeah, the lady, the manager working there, the woman who works there, she has a right to either, like if there's a vehicle on the property, she has a right to tell, hey, that vehicle has to get off the property, you know?
Sure.
So, and she has a right to give the video footage out too. So I asked her, hey, do you mind if I get the video footage of that night? And she said, yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, so that's what you have?
Yes.
Okay, so as far as the body cam from the officer that was involved, you don't have that, right?
That I don't really need that. I'll just have the video footage. This is what I needed. Me inside the store at the time of the supposed alleged offense that didn't take place.
Okay, well, so you're saying that basically what you filed this morning, you don't need that anymore?
No, that's a motion to file for this right here. A motion to submit this video.
Motion to submit evidence is how it's titled. Okay, so it's not a discovery demand. So, are you ready to go for your trial today?
I was just ready to take care of this. Like, am I allowed to?
So here's how the trial works. The state has the burden of proof. You're not required to put on any evidence, call any witnesses, or even testify on your own behalf. You're presumed to be not guilty. The state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you committed the offense of driving while under noncompliance, suspension, and improper display of license plates. Now, the way that the trial goes is, because the state has the burden, they go first. So they'll call the witnesses that they feel will have, can testify to the violations. When each witness is finished testifying on behalf of the prosecution, you'll have a chance to question them. It's called cross-examination. Now, once the state rests its case, then you get to put on your case. And you can call witnesses, you can testify on your own behalf, you can play that video for me as long as you authenticate it. And then after all that's said and done, then I'll render my verdict and make a decision as to whether or not the state has met its burden of proof. So do you understand how the trial works?
I do, but before we go continue, I want to address for dismissal, being that it's my due process rights. It's been over, for a speedy trial, and it's been over due time, for that. So I wanted to see about that, and also I have several citations that I've got received from you guys. So I'm going to clarify whether this was a mayor's court or if this was a municipal court, because I have several different citations that I've received from you guys. With the first initial citation I received from Beach, he gave me a citation in the field, which was a citation for the the fence. But then when I came in after my arraignment, I received a different citation, and there was a judge's name on it. I asked for just a dismissal.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now, and it looks like Judge Landefeld denied that.
Right, and I didn't understand that, and where that was coming from and why. So, I looked into it and I seen that there was a mayor's court, which I don't know how this could be into a mayor's court when.
This has never been in the mayor's court.
Right, well, that's what it says, though. Here, I have several documents saying the mayor's court, which, and even on this one here,
Can you grab whatever he's
like,
talking about?
you like to see these? And that's another reason why I go for dismissal. Another reason is there was no signature from the officer or myself during that stop. So hold on here.
Yeah, hand her the documents that you say refer to mayor's court.
So this one here is the initial one that he gave me. And then here's the other 1, 2, 3. No, this is the one after the day I came to for trial and she got a continuance. Here's that one, and then here's the another one for mayor's court, and then there's another one. I believe I got one more.
Look at what you've got so far.
And here you go. My social's crossed out on the other ones. And I figured that would be due for dismissal, being that.
Ms. Yeager, do you have a response to the defendant's motion to dismiss?
We would ask that you deny his motion to dismiss. It was hard to make sense of anything that he just said, but none of his rights have been violated, neither his right to speedy trial nor rights to due process. We would ask that you deny his motion to dismiss and that we proceed to trial.
Okay. I don't see anything on here that refers to a mayor's court. The only thing I see is Licking County Municipal Court. There's a file stamp that identifies our clerk of court, whose name is Carrie Masterson, but there's nothing in here that refers the matter to mayor's court, and Newark doesn't have a mayor's court.
Right at the bottom of there, it says mayor's court. On the bottom of that citation, if you look at all the citations, the field citation that he gave me seemed to be legit. When I came in after my arraignment, I was going to leave. You said, go see the clerk. I see the clerk. She gave me a different citation that had a stamp at the top that says case number so-and-so, and then it stamped it strategically, or not strategically, but stamped it in the place of a case number and a juvenile parent or something like that. And then on the other side of the ticket was another stamp for, instead of Licking County, it had my case number on it. And then underneath on the other side, on the bottom of the page says mayor's court with a ticket number. You see it there?
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Down at the very bottom on the right, on a uniform citation, it says above the ticket number, it says date, mayor's court transfer notice of appeal. That doesn't apply in your case because this was never in the mayor's court. All that does is reflect that the mayor's court transferred the matter over to the municipal court. Newark doesn't have a mayor's court, so this is the court of original jurisdiction.
So I was just questioning why was it in the mayor's court?
It was never in the mayor's court. It's always been here. I'm going to deny the motion to dismiss. The court finds that speedy trial time was told on the defendant's motions to continue as well as the state's.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I also wanted to state the fact that the reason why this is a fruit of the poisonous tree. Here's the catalog, right? And at the catalog says at 1751 he had white male Carhartt 6 foot tall. Well, then here on this his statement of facts, which is his statement he made, said it, he approximately had 15 hours. He was traveling eastbound West Church Street from the area of North 21st when he observed a black silver motorcycle traveling westbound. And that's at 15. So that'd be at 12:15, and this one says 12:17, 12:18 almost. So I don't know.
Well, all those are things that you can explore on cross-examination of the officer, okay? But at this time, I'm going to go ahead and direct Ms. Yeager to call her first witness.
State would call Officer Beach.
All right. Well, wait, before we get started, you can keep coming up here, Officer Beach. Mr. Messina, you don't have the right to court-appointed counsel, but you have the right to hire an attorney of your choosing. Was it your intention to waive your right to a lawyer?
I was here to represent myself, pro se.
Okay, so you are waiving your right to counsel?
If I don't, do I have time to get counsel?
I'm fairly certain the state would object to a continuance, but do you want to see, you're not entitled to a lawyer for free. You'd have to pay one. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Are you telling me you want to go out and hire a lawyer?
If I had a decent amount of time to get a lawyer, I mean, if for a citation, I guess I would like that, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll probably end up rescheduling this thing if I grant your
If we
motion.
take care of it now, I don't believe that you guys have any you know,
Well, you either have to say, yes, I want to waive my right to an
I'll go ahead
attorney.
and represent myself today.
All right, I'll accept your waiver. Please swear in the witness. You may inquire, Ms. Yeager.
Thank you. Officer Beach, how long have you been with the Newark Police Department?
11 years.
Okay. And were you working for them on March 18th of this year?
I was.
What shift or hours were you working that day?
I'm assigned to third shift patrol, which is from 10 o'clock at night until 8 a.m. in the morning, Sunday through Wednesday.
Okay. And were you wearing a uniform of the day like you are in court?
I was.
Okay. And were you driving a marked patrol car with a working visible light bar?
Correct, I was.
And did your duties on that day include responding to calls for service and traffic enforcement?
Correct.
Okay. Have you had all training required by the department?
I have.
And I'm going to direct your attention to a little after midnight on March 18th. About where were you on patrol at that time?
That night, specifically, I was traveling eastbound on West Church Street, between North 21st Street and North 11th Street in the city of Newark.
Okay. And while you were on patrol about that time, did a vehicle catch your attention?
A motorcycle did, yes.
Okay. And what about the motorcycle caught your attention?
So at night, it is routine as I pass vehicles, as they're going in the opposite direction of me. I always look at my rear view mirror, or side mirror, I should say. I look for things of, do they have a license plate light? Do they have a license plate displayed on the vehicle? Things that would institute a traffic violation. That it could be a traffic stop being made. What caught my attention specifically to this motorcycle was the fact that there was no rear license plate being displayed on the motorcycle.
Okay. And how fast was the motorcycle going?
It's a 35 mile per hour zone. I visually estimated, about 35 miles an hour.
This man walked into court convinced he could beat the case with one piece of evidence. He challenged the officer, demanded a dismissal, and accused authorities of violating his rights. But the judge wasn't buying it. Then came a shocking courtroom exchange that changed the entire tone of the hearing. Was he exposing the truth or making a huge mistake? Watch what happens next, let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more shocking courtroom moments.
And was it on Church Street?
Correct. It was westbound on Church Street, going towards North 21st Street.
Okay. And just to be clear, it's on the public roadway, not sidewalk, grass?
Correct. Yep.
So since you didn't see a license plate, did you try to initiate a traffic stop?
At that time, what I did is I turned around. The motorcycle and the rider had pulled into the Speedway gas station right there at the corner of North 21st Street and West Church Street. The rider had got off the motorcycle, went inside of the convenience store. At that point, I decided to pull through the parking lot to once again confirm what I saw on the roadway when it was in operation. And in fact, there was no license plate on this motorcycle, and I was able to confirm. And sometimes the tags would be tucked up underneath the rear fender or something, but there was no license plate on this motorcycle at all. So I pulled out of the parking lot. I went back down the street and I sat in a business parking lot for a few moments, and I asked for some additional officers to respond to the area as I was planning on conducting a traffic stop, and due to the fact that it's common for motorcycles to fail to stop during traffic stops. It's easy to take off or a pursuit to initiate. That's why I wanted additional officers in the area.
Okay. And then you said the motorcycle and the rider stopped at the Speedway. How many occupants were on the motorcycle?
One.
Okay. And this may sound like a dumb question, but this Speedway, is that a business establishment?
It is.
Is there any residence on the Speedway property?
There is not.
Is there a parking lot on that Speedway?
There is.
Okay, and is it intended to be used by, public for vehicle travel, vehicles parking as they go inside?
Customers, yeah.
Okay. And this Speedway and this part of Church Street, is that in the city of Newark and Licking County, Ohio?
It is.
Okay. So after you were there and you were waiting for other officers, did other officers respond?
Other officers responded to the area as I was watching the motorcycle the entire time as the rider came back out of the convenience store and got back onto the motorcycle, started the motorcycle up, and proceeded out to an entrance exit point, which would have been North 21st Street. left turn was made, which would have been at this point going southbound. At that point, I pulled out and I had to travel westbound on Church Street to get to the intersection, make a left turn to travel southbound on 21st Street. And at that point, there was no motorcycle. It was gone. My window was down, so what had caught me off guard was the fact that I didn't hear a heavy acceleration, something of that matter. And so I continued southbound on 21st to see if, at the top of the hill, to see if it was going towards West Main Street or if it had cut down another side road. And I have not seen this motorcycle anywhere. So at that point, I radioed Officer Garber, who was in the area, to check the speedway. As I was not seeing this motorcycle. A few moments later, Officer Garver advised that he had located the motorcycle back behind the building, and it was not occupied at that point in time.
Did you return to the speedway?
I did.
And did you again view the motorcycle at this point?
Yes, it was the same motorcycle that I'd seen previously on Church Street, operating on public right-of-way. It was the same motorcycle that I'd seen in the parking lot. It's the same motorcycle that pulled behind the building and now is not occupied.
Okay, and does it still have no license plate?
Still no license plate.
Okay. So were you able to determine who operated this motorcycle, who got it there?
Yeah. So I was able, at that time, I obviously was able to, observe what the rider was wearing when it was on the roadway, what he was wearing while he was at the speedway, at the gas station. And when we began to look in the area, my first thought was the rider had exited the motorcycle and maybe took off running through a backyard, something of that nature. But we decided to go inside of the speedway. At that point, we determined that there was someone in the bathroom. And it was later determined that it was, in fact, the rider that was on that motorcycle in the bathroom that I can identify across from me here at the defendant's table as Tyler Messina, who was the rider of that motorcycle that night.
Okay. So you said you recognized what he was wearing on the motorcycle the first time he came to Speedway and when he left Speedway. Was the person in the bathroom wearing those same clothes?
Correct.
And that was the man seated to my right?
Correct.
Okay. And you later identified him as Tyler Messina?
Correct.
Okay. Your Honor, let the record reflect the witness identified the defendant.
Record will so reflect.
Thank you. So based on your observations, did you speak with Mr. Messina about why you were approaching him about this motorcycle not having a plate?
I did.
Okay. And were you able to get his identification in some way?
Yeah, it took a bit. Tyler was rather uncooperative for a while. He was detained due to obviously the investigation of the traffic infraction that occurred. I ran him through my mobile leads terminal and discovered that he did not have a valid license. He was under a license suspension. He does not have a motorcycle endorsement to be operating a motorcycle on a public roadway, and of course the fact that the motorcycle did not display a license plate.
Okay. So you said you're in your mobile units, that's in your cruiser?
Correct.
And that pulls up a driver record for whatever suspect you put their information in, correct?
Correct.
And whenever you submit any citations or anything to the court, do you also submit the record as you viewed it that day?
Yes, it's so the record that is viewed in our car. It pulls from the Ohio BMV. So a driver abstract or a driver record is exactly what you're going to see if you pull it from the BMV itself or the court file.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
I'm going to show you what I have marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1.
Where's that?
Right there.
Okay, what are you showing me? Driver record?
Yep.
What's that got to do?
Well, we're going to find that out.
Okay.
Mr. Beach, this is marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1.
Correct.
Can you go ahead and flip through that and let me know when you're done?
Yep. So this is exactly what I was talking about. It's rather long. So this is a driver record history specifically regarding Tyler Messina.
Okay. And does the name, date of birth, social security number, does that match that Mr. Messina gave you on March 18th?
It does.
Okay. And what is the status, according to that BMV report, of his driver's license?
It shows that he is suspended.
Okay. And what kind of suspension?
He should be under a FRA non-compliance suspension.
Okay. And does it list any endorsements for him?
It would if there was any, but there's no endorsements.
Okay. And then if you look under, I believe I highlighted it, the first one that says a non-compliance suspension.
Correct.
What are the FRA dates that are listed?
It was recorded on 11/13 of 2023, and that is from 12/22 of 23 until 12/22 of 2028. So with this being 2026, it's still a valid suspension.
Okay, so he would need an SR 22?
Correct.
Okay, and does it say next to that suspended, or does it say compliance?
It says non-compliance.
Okay. Thank you. And is this a true and accurate depiction of the driver record that you saw that night?
Looks nearly the same.
Absent the sticker and the highlights,
yeah, identical.
obviously?
Yeah.
May I say something?
Do you have an objection, or do you have a question?
Well, I have objection, a few of them, but the main ones are well, it's nearly the same. Well, what's nearly the same about it? And what's
That's going to be part of your cross-examination when you have your opportunity to question the witness. Ms. Yeager, you may continue.
Was the only thing that you saw different the highlights and the exhibit sticker?
Yes.
Were there any other differences that you noted?
No. I mean, driving history is exactly the same that it would be on leads than it is on that B&B driver abstract.
Thank you. Did you ultimately issue a citation to Mr. Messina?
I did.
Okay, and what did you cite him for?
I cited him for three things. One would be the FRA non-compliance suspension. The second would have been the operating a motorcycle or vehicle without a motorcycle endorsement. And the third would have been operating a motor vehicle without license plate.
Nothing further at this time for Officer Beach.
Okay, so now, Mr. Messina, it's your turn to ask the witness questions. Now, it doesn't take the form of you telling him what you say happened. It takes the form of you asking him questions, because you'll be able to testify on your own later on. But what questions do you have for Officer Beach?
Officer Beach, how you doing?
Good.
A couple of questions for you.
Okay.
So when you were traveling eastbound on West Main Street,
Correct.
You said you had seen a man.
West Church Street?
West Church Street.
Yeah.
You seen a man on a bike.
Motorcycle.
Okay. All right. Now, what time was that?
Approximately around midnight.
Midnight. And was this man committing any type of traffic offense?
He was.
Now, so when you passed him, he was coming towards you, and you seen him commit an offense?
Correct, I did.
Now, what was that?
He was operating a motor vehicle without a license plate.
Okay. Now, it was dark that night, right?
Correct.
And you're going about 35?
Roughly.
And say he's going about 35, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you just seen a normal driver coming down the road, and you just said, hey, you glanced over and said, oh, there's no license plate. And being that it's late, you didn't just think that maybe you just had it, overlooked it, or you for sure seen that?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the fact that I turned around to make sure what I seen the first time was accurate. That's why I pulled back into the parking lot of the Speedway to confirm that, in fact, what I seen on the roadway was true.
Now, was this man verifiable? Like you knew and seen who this person was?
Considering he was the only one on the motorcycle, yes.
Okay, and what time did you pull back into the Speedway to do your check, you said?
This was all sequential to when I passed the motorcycle on West Church Street.
Yeah, but did you, like, your CAD log says that at 17:51, so that'd be 12:17, 51 seconds.
Correct.
That you had called in for a white male with Carhartt 6 foot tall. So being that you said he's 6 foot tall, and how did you know his height, and how could you visual his height, being that he was on a motorcycle supposedly?
The fact that he had got off the motorcycle and walked into the convenience store and walked back out. It was an approximate height, just like the citation that states that approximately at 0015, so it's an approximate time.
So where was you sitting at when you seen this man enter and leave?
I was actually sitting to the east of the Speedway. I was in a Edward Jones parking lot.
The officer thought he had an open and shut case, until the defendant fired back with questions nobody expected. He challenged the officer's identification, questioned how he could see details in the dark, and tried to poke holes in the entire traffic stop. But was he exposing a major mistake, or digging himself into a deeper hole? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more shocking courtroom moments.
Now, where's that at?
To the east of the location.
So, is it like across to the east, or is it directly next to it, or?
Directly in line with the parking lot.
All right, now, that's an automotive sales place?
No, Edward Jones is a financial investment.
Financial investment.
Yeah.
No, okay, well, your statement of facts says that it was about 12:15 when you witnessed this, and I just don't know what the time gap was. In between that, I didn't know what was going on in between that time gap there.
It says approximately, and what was going on during that time gap was I was observing you walking in and out of the convenience store and getting back on the motorcycle and operating it.
Where was the bike at when the man got back on the motorcycle?
It was at a gas pump facing westbound, towards
Is that
21st
before or
Street.
after he entered the store?
Well, you parked the motorcycle facing westbound and got off the motorcycle and walked into the convenience store, and it stayed in that spot until you got back onto the motorcycle, started it up, and pulled away.
All right, well, when did your officer, Garber, is it Taylor?
Officer Garber.
Garber, when did he initiate that he had found a motorcycle?
He advised that he located your motorcycle within a minute, not even that, of you leaving the gas station and pulling back behind the backside of it.
I thought you was behind the man on the motorcycle as he left, and you were pursuing him down 21st Street.
There was no pursuit. Of the
You said that you followed a man on a motorcycle.
Correct.
And if that's true, then how could the motorcycle be parked behind the gas station at the same time you're traveling to pursue this alleged operation of a motor vehicle?
If you look at my statement, it states that I believe, I'm just going off of recollection here, that I had lost sight of the motorcycle as it pulled onto 21st Street. As I just stated in my testimony, I didn't feel that it was plausible that the motorcycle could have gotten that far due to when I pulled out to where I was. That's why I had Officer Garber check the location of the speedway and located the motorcycle
Now,
there.
did you take a left or a right when you came out of Speedway?
Oh, when I came out, I didn't pull in the speedway parking lot.
When you came out of it, not pulling in.
When I
you
came
followed
out?
him, yeah.
Okay,
When you
I would have made a
followed
left from West Church Street onto North 21st Street, traveling southbound in the direction that I witnessed, observed the motorcycle.
from Speedway?
Correct.
Okay, well, you told me earlier that you was in a financial institution's parking lot.
Correct.
So which one is it?
Objection, Your Honor. He clearly stated he was never in the Speedway parking lot.
You'll have redirect. Objection will be overruled.
Well, if he said that he was...
Can you just restate your question? I think he was confused by your question.
Which way did you take, a left or a right, when you came out of Speedway parking lot?
I was not in the speedway parking lot.
Okay. So just making sure you know what you're saying. So if you weren't in the Speedway parking lot, right?
Correct.
You, about how far away would you say that your car was sitting from the Speedway?
Approximately 300 feet.
300 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's a good distance. Is there anything in the way your line of fire to see?
In my view?
Yeah.
No, there's no obstructions. It was a clear view from where I was sitting to where your motorcycle was sitting in the underneath the canopy of the gas station.
So there's pretty much a clean straight shot to see this vehicle riding, right? To all of a sudden just disappear. You said that this motorcycle he just vanished all of a sudden. And in Ohio, when you're operating a motor vehicle and you're pursuing a vehicle and to, you know, you have to have full contact with a motor vehicle and a person who's operating it, and no gaps in between.
Okay.
So I was wondering.
He's testifying.
Yeah, I'll sustain the objection. Let's get back to questions.
Okay. So, being that said, what, do you know what time you had entered the Speedway?
I don't. It was approximately somewhere between midnight and 12:15, 12:20.
And when you got in the Speedway, what did you do?
I had made contact with other officers that were inside of the establishment.
And about what time was that?
Sir, we're talking again midnight to 12:15, 12:20.
Okay, well,
I mean, I don't know exact time that I walked into the Speedway.
well, you earlier stated that you had pursued the vehicle and you had initiated for backup with Taylor, but now you're saying that you were in the Speedway while the officers were in there too as well.
Correct.
And then you were somehow signaling them for backup while they're in there with you?
No, I asked for other officers to come to the area well before that we made contact with you in the bathroom at the Speedway.
Well, I think that, well, hold on, my bad, I'm trying to, let me go ahead and ask you a couple more questions. About what time did you call for a tow truck?
Without looking at the CAD notes, I don't know.
Okay, and another question is hold on one second. Now, where did you issue the citation?
In the parking lot of the Speedway on Church Street.
Okay, well, your ticket says that you were on a 2-lane road on 21st Street.
No, with the
Objection argumentative.
So I just wanted to know if that was for sure a fact that.
I'll sustain the objection, but rephrase your question. I think it's confusing the way that you put it.
Your ticket has issued a citation to me at, let's see, March 18th at 0027. That's 12:27. And I wanted to question that you had put a 2-lane road on 21st Street.
The citation states west. It actually has a spelling error that I just noticed. It says West Crutch Street. It should have said Church Street, at or near North 21st Street. It's a general area. So West Church Street, at or near North 21st Street.
Now, is that bit of land there, the area there, is that a taxable piece of, is that a taxable city limits or a township?
What that area is, it's a public roadway in the city of Newark.
Is it taxable?
Your Honor, how is that even relevant?
No,
It's not relevant. I'm going to sustain the
All right.
objection. Next question.
Okay. All right, so you give this citation to me about what time you said?
We've already gone over the timeline, so let's move on to your next question.
All right,
And it's okay if you don't have any other ones.
I got some more.
I figured you would.
So pretty much you're saying that you seen this man operating a vehicle?
yes, Mr. Messina, I've seen you operate the motorcycle that day, or that night, that morning.
That morning?
That morning. It would be morning time after.
Okay, all right, well, I guess, Your Honor, I'm gonna be done with my questions because I feel like.
You don't even have to tell me why you're done with your
That-
questions. You can just tell me that you're finished. Okay.
Yeah.
Ms. Yeager, any redirect?
Yes, Officer Beach, when you spoke with Mr. Messina that night, did he admit that it was his motorcycle there? Or that he's the one who brought it there?
So he stated that he was pushing the motorcycle down West Church Street when I initially seen him operating or driving the motorcycle. So he was in possession of that motorcycle that night.
And then in the short couple of minutes that this transpired, did you see any other motorcycles on the roadway?
There was no other motorcycle on that roadway.
The defendant believed he had found the mistake that would destroy the entire case. He challenged the officer's timeline, questioned every detail, and tried to expose a major contradiction in court. But then the officer fired back with a shocking statement, "I saw you riding that motorcycle." The courtroom instantly got tense. Just when it looked like the defendant might gain the upper hand, a second officer was called to the stand to confirm what really happened that night. And what came next could completely crush his defense. Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more shocking courtroom moments.
Nothing further for Officer Beach, Your Honor?
Now, you're entitled to what's called recross-examination, but you have to restrict your questions to the topics that she brought up. So basically, it would be timeline and whether or not the officer actually saw somebody operating the motorcycle. So based on her other questions, do you have any specific questions to that?
No, because I feel like he,
Again, you don't have to tell me why you don't have questions. You just have to say, no questions, Your Honor.
actually, I do have actually, I really don't have any more questions because
Okay, and again, you don't have to tell me why. Officer Beach, you may step down.
Thank you.
Any additional witnesses on behalf of the state?
Yes, the state would call Officer Garber.
Officer, please come forward and be sworn. You may inquire.
Officer Garber, how long have you been with the Newark Police Department?
Since November of 2018.
And were you working on March 18th of 2026?
Yes, ma'am.
What shift or hours were you working?
Team 5 patrol, so I work Sunday through Wednesday, 10 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Were you wearing a uniform of the day, much like you are in court?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you operating a marked patrol car with a working visible light bar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did your duties that day include traffic enforcement and responding to calls for service?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you received all required training by the department?
Yes, ma'am.
A little after midnight, did you get a radio call from Officer Derek Beach?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you respond to assist him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did he ask you did he relay that he was trying to locate a particular motorcycle?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you in the general area where he was?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did the motorcycle that he reported, were you able to locate it?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you locate it?
I located it behind the speedway.
Okay. And is this speedway in the city of Newark and Lincoln County, Ohio?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see any other motorcycles while you were looking for any motorcycles?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And was this the only motorcycle at Speedway?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you present when officer spoke with Mr. Messina?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did he deny bringing the motorcycle there?
I believe he said he was pushing it there.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further for Officer Garber.
Do you have any questions for this officer?
can I make an objection?
What's your objection?
Well, my objection is that their stories are not matching up to what they're trying to say, their narrative to this.
Okay, so that would not be the basis of an objection, but rather the subject to cross-examination as well as your own testimony. So you can ask the officer questions that you think are relevant to his testimony and what he just said when he was asked the questions by the prosecutor. But again, you'll have the opportunity to give your side of things later.
When you ask questions like that, what is there being a mark to where they're not being real transparent?
Well, I mean, you'll ask the questions, they'll give their answers. If you don't like their answers, then you can further inquire. But ultimately, if you don't believe that they're telling the truth, I'm the one who ultimately make the decision about whether they're telling the truth.
So, my question is, Garber, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how you doing? So, when Officer Beach had initiated your backup, right? You guys were in the store together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why does he need to get a hold of you in the store radio for backup when you're already present?
He did not radio me when we were in the store together.
All right. So when you guys were in the store together, where was I?
In the bathroom.
And was this before or after you guys had stopped me. Supposedly.
Before or after we stopped what?
You guys allegedly stopped me on 21st Street. Is this before or after?
This was before. We did not stop you on 21st Street.
Well, there it is.
Any other questions?
No.
All right, any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Officer Garber, you may step down. Thank you very much, sir. Any additional witnesses on behalf of the state?
No, Your Honor. The state would seek to admit Plaintiff's Exhibit 1, and then the state would rest.
So, Mr. Messina, at this point, the state is asking me to admit into evidence their exhibit that they've marked as Exhibit 1, which is the certified copy of your driving records. If I grant that request, that means I'm allowed to consider that in deciding whether or not they've proven the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you object to that record coming in?
I do.
And what's the basis of your objection?
Because to have that evidence and also it like premeditated, they said they didn't know who person was, but by the BNB picture, it just didn't seem to be him. That contradicts itself. Seeing that the individual was not an unknown individual, but then their statement says the BNB picture did not appear to be him. And then
So we heard the testimony from Officer Beach about how he obtained the information about the individual's identity that they believed had committed the offense, that when they ran that through, it generated the Leeds report, which is identical to what was marked as State's Exhibit 1. So I think what you're arguing is more the weight that I should give to that evidence as opposed to whether or not it's admissible. So your objection will be noted. I'll overrule that, and I'll admit State's 1, and the State is rested. Now, it's their burden. You don't have to call any witnesses. You don't have to introduce any evidence. You don't have to testify, and I don't hold any of that against you because they have to prove it. But you do have a right to call witnesses. You do have a right to introduce evidence into the record, and you do have a right to testify on your own behalf. Other than you, do you have any witnesses that you want to call that are present today?
No, but I'd like to submit some evidence.
Well, and you'll if you want to do that, you'll have to testify. Do you understand? Because you're going to have to testify about what it is you want to be admitted.
I filed a motion prior to this, and it's a motion to
submit evidence.
submit evidence, and it's the video of me.
It is, but it's not admissible until it's authenticated, meaning somebody has to, number one, we have to see it. Number two, somebody has to testify that that's an accurate depiction of the events of that evening.
Right.
Now, you could have played it for the officers and asked them if they recognized it, but they've already testified and they're done. You can authenticate it yourself through your own testimony, or if you have a witness from the Speedway to come in and testify about it, you can do that. But you can't just offer and say, Judge, I want you to consider this, okay? Because it's based on the rules of evidence. So, you said you don't have any other witnesses that are here today that you want to call, that you do want to introduce evidence, but my question to you is, do you want to testify on your own behalf?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then please come forward to be sworn and bring whatever you intend to testify about with you while you're up there.
I didn't understand that. No, I don't need to testify on my own behalf because the inconsistency that's taken place and the contradictions over the catalog and the narrative and the...
Okay, so if you don't testify, and you basically are saying, Judge, I'm not presenting any evidence, I'm not calling any witnesses, I'm not going to testify, at that point the trial will be over. I'll give both you and Ms. Yeager an opportunity to argue why she feels that they met their burden and why you feel that they didn't, and then I'll render my verdict. Okay? Is that all right? Okay, records reflect the defendant assented. Ms. Yeager, any argument?
Yes, Your Honor. The state believes it has proved beyond a reasonable doubt that on the date in question in the city of Newark and Lincoln County, Ohio, Mr. Messina operated a motorcycle on a public roadway. Officer Beach testified that he saw this motorcycle driving down Church Street at approximately the posted speed limit of 35 miles an hour. He watched a person walk into the speedway from the pump inside and back to the pump, noted what they were wearing, had confirmed already that his initial observation about the no license plate was indeed correct, and he watched the operator pull away. When he went to go after this person to initiate a traffic stop, he lost sight of the motorcycle. He testified that he did not hear a loud acceleration or anything that a motorcycle would make if it was pulling away at a high rate of speed, and radioed to see, hey, can you check the speedway? And Officer Garber located that motorcycle within a minute. And when they located the person who had the motorcycle, he was wearing the same thing that Officer Beach saw from the person who parked at the Speedway pump, go inside and come back out. When they approached him, they later identified him as Mr. Messina. In running his information, he did not have a valid license. There was still no plate on the motorcycle, and he still had no motorcycle endorsement. when they inquired about the motorcycle with him, he had said he pushed it. However, I'm unaware of anything in the universe that would allow someone to push a motorcycle at 35 miles an hour down the public roadway, not to mention that's still moving it. So, Your Honor, we would ask for a finding of guilt to all 3 charges today.
All right, now, Mr. Messina, you can't bring up things that weren't testified to by the officers or anything other than the exhibit that was entered into evidence, because at this point, the only evidence the court is going to consider is the testimony and the exhibits. But you get to comment on why you believe the state has failed to meet its burden or why I shouldn't believe certain testimony. So what do you want to say before I make a decision?
What she said was that the officer had lost sight of the guy, right, that was operating. So they didn't have full sight of this man that was supposedly allegedly riding and operating a motor vehicle. Because at the time of operation, they said it was on 21st Street when he had issued a citation. But they contradict themselves by saying that they issued the citation in the parking lot. So that to me is, well, fruit of the poisonous tree, because it's the contradiction from what she just said, and it's also it's not consistent. The story's not consistent, and they had not kept operation on and eyes on the individual to know whether or not that was them, and if it was them, why didn't they hit their license plate or their sirens, to initiate a stop, like procedure would say, and therefore I feel that the state does not have any proof of operation. If they initiated and pulled him out of the speedway, right, and gave him a citation, he was operating a motor vehicle. He was in a store as a citizen.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Messina. I appreciate your argument. So I think the court may have heard the testimony a little bit differently from the defendant. I could tell a distinct, comprehensive narrative. Beach basically was going eastbound on Church Street, passed a motorcycle, looked in his side view, said, hey, that thing doesn't have a license plate, I don't think. Turned around, decided to investigate further, ultimately got up close and personal with it, verified that it didn't have a license plate, and he testified that the individual that they arrested, which was Mr. Messina, was dressed identically to the person who had been operating the motorcycle. There's nothing in the law that says the officers have to have continuous visual contact with the subject. It's important, don't get me wrong. I found somebody not guilty years ago of speeding because it was like, I don't know, it was dark and it was 16 and the officer had to go all the way out to the turnaround at River Road, and in the meantime several cars had gone by and the court just didn't find it credible that they knew he couldn't identify what color the car was. So that's one thing. This one was pretty cut and dry. They saw the motorcycle, they saw the person who was driving it. They ultimately located that individual in the bathroom of the Speedway, identified them as you, and after checking the motorcycle itself for a license plate and the driving records from the Bureau of Motor Vehicles and verifying that there was an active suspension as well as no motorcycle endorsement, they issued their citation. A lot of what the defense is focusing on, I think, are details that, there are small discrepancies in almost every case. But I do feel that the state has met its burden here. Now, in a minute, I'm going to explain to you how you can appeal my verdict of guilty and any sentence that I impose. But for now, you have a right to comment on sentencing, not guilt or innocence. I know you disagree with my decision there. That's what the Court of Appeals is for. But as it relates to the sentence, is there anything you want to say? Like, well, Judge, take it easy on me. I don't have any money, or hey, I don't know what you do. I'm loaded.
I appeared on my arraignment. I appeared here, and you asked me if I would plead guilty or not guilty, and I said not guilty. And you said, well, it's not a jailable offense.
Right.
Right. And also, the FRA suspension. Mm-hmm. Now, where's the FRA suspension financial responsibility coming from?
I don't know. You'd have to check with the BMV about that. Ms. Yeager, did the state wish to be heard regarding sentencing?
Your Honor, we would defer to the court's wisdom today.
Okay. All right. Okay. Are you employed?
No.
Okay. Do you receive disability benefits?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you do before you got hurt?
I was working at Tree Service, a manual climber.
What was the name of it?
I can't, it's German, I can't pronounce it.
Asplund?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. I don't know if that's how you spell it. I think it is. Or say it.
Asplunda, or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do today, Mr. Messina. On the FRA suspension, a $200 fine and costs, $100 on the no license or motorcycle endorsement, $25 on the plates. Now, as I mentioned, you have the right to appeal my verdicts finding you guilty, as well as these fines and costs that I've just imposed. You have a right to file a notice of appeal within 30 days of today's date. You have a right to pay for a transcript of our hearing today and any other relevant hearings. And you also have the right to hire an attorney to represent you during your appeal. But for the same reason you weren't entitled to free counsel here at this level, you're not entitled to free counsel on the appeal. If you decide you want to take it up, I would strongly recommend that you consult with an attorney, if not hire one. It's a much more difficult and detailed and exacting process. I was able to understand your arguments and everything else that you were making, but the Court of Appeals, who knows? Do you have any other questions today?
I can't just make one more statement.
Well, I was going to say, do you have?
Yeah, so I don't see how I could be charged with this, being that,
Well, at this point, I tell you what, let me cut you off because I know that we've
Okay.
got other cases we've got to take care of. If you still have issues, the Court of Appeals is where you want to go. Anything further, Ms. Shaker?
No, Your Honor.
All right, very well. That'll be all.
all right,
Good luck to you, Mr. Messina.
yeah, thank you.
Have a good day.
I winged it a little bit, but I tried.
The defendant entered court convinced he could tear apart the case. He challenged the officer's timeline, pointed to alleged contradictions, and insisted there was no proof he ever rode the motorcycle. But after reviewing the testimony, the judge rejected his arguments, sided with the officers, and found him guilty on all charges. Even after the verdict, the defendant kept fighting, but the judge's decision was final. Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more shocking courtroom moments.